Hey everyone, Heavy here, and welcome back to Cold Plunge every day until Bitcoin 50K. We've had some more action in the crypto markets overnight, and things are looking interesting. Investors are starting to ask whether the Bitcoin rally has run out of steam, so let's take a look at that chart. Today we will be looking at cryptocurrency current events and then going for our cold plunge. Let's get right into it. Here we're looking at the chart over the last week for Bitcoin. We can see a lot of weakness here with lower highs and lowered lows, especially that big sell-off that we talked about yesterday. Over $100 billion has been removed from Bitcoin's market cap over the last few days due to this tremendous selling. Obviously, these are pretty bearish signs in the short term, but in the long term, I think Bitcoin still remains as bullish as ever. Moving over to the Ethereum chart, we can see that just barely 72 hours ago, Ethereum was notching new highs at about the 1440 level. But since then, we have seen incredible weakness, and very similar to the Bitcoin chart, there was a very large sell-off 2 days ago, followed by a little bit of a bounce, and now more sideways movement. Ethereum hasn't dropped quite like Bitcoin did overnight, so unfortunately in the short term, both coins are still looking quite bearish. And finally, for anyone out there getting nervous about this recent dip, I'd like to point out that MicroStrategy has in fact been continuing to add to their Bitcoin position, buying $10 million worth over the last 48 hours. So that does it for our news recap this morning. Now it's time to go get cold. All right, everyone, we've got a pretty cold one this morning. We can see the temperature is currently 30 degrees outside. But we finally got a clear day. No overcast today. All right, Mr. Bitcoin Bob here tells us it's holding steady at about 46 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know how well you all can see that. 46 is pretty good. It's enough to definitely get you exhilarated, but I'm looking into ways where we can get a legitimate ice plunge going here pretty soon. Might have to take a trip up to like Chicago or Wisconsin or maybe Michigan, I don't know, somewhere, but I definitely want to go swimming in a frozen lake this winter. All right, everybody, game time. Crypto cold plunge, day 5. The only way to start the day. Nothing but smiles here. Nothing but smiles. Feeling good. Feeling really good. Some of you may be wondering how I deal with the after drop once I get out of the pool. And the after drop being the drop in core temperature that takes place once the blood starts to flow out towards the extremities again. When I get out, my skin is really cold. You know, it's red and kind of orangish color. And that's because the blood has really been shunted into the core of the body, away from the skin, to help keep the heat into the body. So as you start to warm up again, then the blood will flow out towards that cold skin to warm it up, and the blood then drops in temperature. Basically, as that cold blood starts to flow back into the core, the body temperature will start to drop pretty rapidly, hence after drop. So what I do is, as soon as I get out of the pool, I dry off, head back to my room, and then get dressed as quickly as possible. Get dressed up in jeans, jacket, shoes, and a beanie. And then I heat up some water, and then I drink the nice warm water, very warm, hot water really. I drink that pretty quickly to get some warmth to the inside of my body that my body can then use to warm up. I then pretty much sit there for about 10 minutes, might walk around a little bit, do some breathing exercises, but it takes about 10 minutes to get over the acute effects and stave off the shivering that can possibly set in. You don't want to shiver. You know, you can tell your body not to shiver, and that's one way to really work on controlling your body's physiological responses to things. But after about 10 minutes, then you'll start to feel warm again, and then you can start to go about your day. Usually what I'll do at that time is eat breakfast and get the day rolling. It's usually during that after drop that you feel the peak of the euphoric effects that come from the cold therapy. So it's a pretty enjoyable time if you get good at dealing with the after drop. You know, you can put some music in, you can really enjoy the sensation, and it becomes less painful over time. So it's been about 2 minutes of plunging. So time to get our 30-second underwater meditation. As usual, we will purge our lungs of air and sit on the bottom like a rock. Nice. Nice. I'm telling y'all, if you haven't started cold plunging yet, you might want to consider trying it at least a few times, preferably after a little bit of training. The breathing exercises beforehand really does help a lot, but I mean, this is just the best way to start the day that I can think of. So I think it's about time to get on out and wrap this video up for the day. Bitcoin, as you know, is sitting very low, and it's showing a lot of weakness in the chart. But as usual, we will continue to cold plunge every day until Bitcoin 50K. Yeah, this has been another 5-minute cold plunge, as I see from the length of the video. Now, as Wim Hof says, 5 minutes is not really necessary. All you need is 2 to 3 minutes to get the thermogenesis going and get the acute anti-inflammatory positive benefits. So, this has been Heavy for another crypto cold plunge every day until Bitcoin 50K. Please like the video and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you can know whenever I post a new video, which will be every day. So thank you again for joining me. This is Heavy, and I'll see you tomorrow.